Hello my dear students. Students, in the previous session we discussed about nutrition in humans in detail, and now we are going to continue this lesson in today's session, in which we are going to learn about nutrition in ruminants. So let us now discuss about ruminants, rumination, what all these terms mean. Yes, nutrition in ruminants. Students, have you observed cows, buffaloes and other grass-eating animals chewing continuously even when they are not eating grass? Have you ever observed? You might have observed, and if not, you should. There are some plant-eating animals or grass-eating animals like cows, goats, sheep, etc., which swallow large amount of food at a time. They quickly swallow the grass and store it in a separate part of the stomach called as rumen. So it is not like us. We human beings are very different from these ruminants, these animals. So what are basically ruminants? Yes, they are the animals, the plant-eating animals that swallow large amount of food at a time and store it in a separate part of the stomach, and that is why they are considered as ruminants. So these are ruminants. Cow, sheep, goat, these are considered as ruminants. Now what happens actually? They quickly swallow the grass and store it in a separate part of the stomach called as rumen. And what happens in the rumen? Here in the rumen, the food gets partially digested and it is called as cud. C-U-D, cud, not curd. Okay? But what actually happens? Yes, later on, the cud returns to the mouth in small lumps and the animal chews it. So it is not the grass which animal chews, but it is the cud. Cud means the food which gets partially digested when cows, goats or sheep, when they eat this food, the grass gets digested and it gets stored in a separate part, that is rumen, and then food gets partially digested, which is called as cud, right? Now these ruminants are done with their food they have ingested in. But what happens now? Later on, when they feel hungry again, later the cud returns to the mouth in small lumps and the animal starts chewing it. And then we start thinking that it has started again, it has started chewing again, but they are actually not chewing the grass again. They are chewing the cud. And that is why we say that they always keep on chewing. They keep on chewing continuously even when they are not eating grass. So it is this that they are chewing. And this process of chewing continuously is called rumination. And these animals are called as ruminants. So the grass here is actually rich in some substance which is actually a type of carbohydrate. There are many animals, including humans, that cannot digest this kind of substance, but these ruminants are actually eating grass which is rich in a substance which cannot be digested. So let us discuss about it. Yes. So we are now going to discuss about ingestion. First of all, we should know that the food is taken into the mouth with the help of tongue by these animals, by these ruminants. And as the food is being chewed, it is also mixed with saliva. And do not forget that the habit of plant-eating animals makes their digestive system very different from us, and thus the need to study them separately. A cow makes 40,000 to 60,000 jaw movements per day while it keeps on chewing and re-chewing. So basically, as the food is being chewed, it is also mixed with saliva. Since grass is difficult to digest, ruminants have big chewing teeth with powerful jaw muscles. And that is why this ingestion process in ruminants takes place in this way. After ingestion comes digestion. Now they have ingested the food, they have taken the food into the mouth, as they have large sac-like structure between small intestine and large intestine, where the food is digested by the action of certain bacteria which are not present in humans. So far we have learned about animals which possess the digestive system, but there are many small organisms which do not have a mouth and a digestive system. So they acquire food and they digest food in very different way, like the ruminants. Ruminants have a digestive system, but they have very different kind of digesting the food, different type of digesting food, and that is why it is very interesting to study. So we are done with ingestion in ruminants. Now we will study about digestion which takes place in ruminants. Now as we discussed that grass is very difficult to digest, ruminants have big chewing teeth with powerful jaw muscles. So after the initial chewing, the food actually passes down the 2 to 3 feet long esophagus, and then this esophagus leads into the stomach just like us, which in ruminants is 4-chambered. Now in humans, stomach is not chambered, but in ruminants, in humans it is not chambered, but in ruminants it is 4-chambered, and it is named differently. So let us now have a look at the diagrammatic representation of the digestive system of a ruminant. Here we have taken an example of a cow, a ruminant, and here we can see that this is esophagus. Now after the initial chewing, the food passes down, that is 2 to 3 feet long esophagus. After the esophagus, it goes into the stomach. Into the stomach, where it is divided into 4 parts. Which 4 parts? Yes. The first part is rumen. Second chamber or second part is reticulum. The third one is omasum, and fourth one is abomasum. Right? It is not linearly arranged, so we can name it as our way. So first one is rumen, then omasum, reticulum, and abomasum. Right? So what are they? We will discuss about it. So first of all, the digestive system of ruminant consists of esophagus, then rumen, abomasum, omasum, reticulum, and finally the intestine. Right? So let us now study about them in detail. Yes. First of all is the rumen. What is it? This is the first and the largest chamber of the stomach. Secondly, it is abomasum, which we can say it as this is the last chamber of the stomach. Then reticulum is the second chamber of the stomach, and omasum is the third and the smallest chamber of the stomach. Right? So which is the first one? Let us discuss. The first one is the rumen. Right? So we'll write here rumen. The second chamber is all reticulum, third one is omasum, and fourth one is abomasum. R-O-A. This is the trick with which we can remember. Right? So the first one is rumen, which is the first and the largest chamber of the stomach. Second one is the reticulum, second chamber of the stomach. Third one is omasum. This is the third and smallest chamber of the stomach. And which is the largest one? Yes, rumen. And smallest one? Omasum. And the last chamber of the stomach is abomasum. Right? R-O-A. Rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. So first one is rumen, which we are going to discuss here, is that the rumen helps in storing the large quantities of food in ruminants that has been quickly consumed. Now, the food is partially digested here and is now called the cud. And what happens to this cud? Yes, we discussed. The rumen also has billions of bacteria and protozoa which break down the fiber called as cellulose found in hay and grass. As we discussed that in grass there is high amount of cellulose which is undigested, by the animals. And that is why we can say that the food which is partially digested is called the cud. And the cud is then brought back into the mouth. And when the cud is brought back into the mouth, it is re-chewed, then it is re-swallowed. Right? So it is re-chewed, re-swallowed in a process called as cud chewing. So we call this process as cud chewing. Right? And then after this cud chewing, the rumen has billions of bacteria and protozoa which break down the fiber called as cellulose, which is the undigested form and which is very rich in grass, which is present in grass. Or we can say that grass is very rich in this substance known as cellulose. So it will break down this cellulose and then it will be fully digested by the ruminants. And rest of the undigested material will be released out. So that was about rumen. Second is reticulum. Reticulum helps in moving the swallowed food back into the mouth for thorough chewing. Means what will happen? The reticulum will then be opening into the omasum, because that is the third and the smallest chamber, and reticulum is the second chamber. So reticulum helps in moving the swallowed food back into the mouth for thorough chewing, in which the process is known as rumination. So this rumination or the cud chewing process will go on, and then finally it will open into the omasum. Now here, this re-chewing, re-swallowing goes on and on, cud chewing goes on and on, thorough chewing goes on, and that is why reticulum is named as something called as hardware stomach. Why? Why it is called as hardware stomach? Yes, because if cows accidentally eat hardware such as piece of metal or something like that, it will often lodge here, causing no further damage. So finally, reticulum will, what it will do? It will lodge the metal. We are taking an example, just a piece of metal if consumed by the cows or goats or sheep. What it will do? Reticulum will lodge here. Reticulum will lodge the metal over here and it will cause no damage. And that is why it is called as hardware stomach. So basically we can say that reticulum actually helps in moving the swallowed food, and it actually helps in getting no damage even if the ruminants eat the piece of metal. And then finally it will pass on to omasum. So after reaching the omasum, what will be the function of omasum? Its main function is to absorb excess water and reduce the particle size further, so that it can be totally digested, it can be totally absorbed, and if it is not absorbed or digested, that undigested material will released out afterwards. But most of the materials get digested and absorbed. So omasum's main function is to absorb excess of water and it reduces the particle size further. And finally comes the abomasum, in which the walls of the abomasum secrete digestive juices that help in digestion. So this all things go on and on in the stomach. So this is the digestion process in which abomasum, which is the last chamber, will secrete digestive juices that aids in digestion. Then finally the process of absorption occurs. Now what happens when this absorption process occurs? We are done with ingestion and digestion in ruminants. Now what happens in absorption? Obviously, absorption begins in the four-chambered stomach, which we studied itself, but the main absorptive organs are the intestines. As in humans, absorption and digestion takes place in intestines. In the same way in ruminants, absorption begins in four-chambered stomach, but the main absorptive organs are the intestines. So whatever will happen, the main absorption area, the main absorption process will happen in the intestine. What it does? Yes, the food from the abomasum passes into the small intestine where it mixes with the secretion from the pancreas and liver. The juices which comes from the pancreas and liver, and then it actually makes the process of absorption more possible, where most of the digestion of the carbohydrates, proteins and fats will take place. And what will happen then? Yes, what is present in the intestine? Yes, there are several villi which are present here, which helps in increasing the surface area for absorption. And finally, the small intestine will lead into the large intestine. So what is happening in the absorption? The food from the abomasum, which is the last chamber of the stomach, will pass into small intestine. Finally, it will mix with the secretions which come from the pancreas and liver, and then it will move on to other process, that is the digestion of carbohydrates, proteins and fats, where several villi are present which increases the surface area for absorption. So finally, it will come to the small intestine, and from the small intestine it will lead to the large intestine, where the main function of the large intestine is, as we know that the main function of large intestine is to absorb water and other important salts. So it will absorb important salts, other important salts and water from the digested food, and then it will move out, or it will excrete it out of the body, right? So the large intestine will absorb water and other important salts from the digested food that is flowing down to make it more solid. And once it is absorbed again to the body, which is necessary for the ruminants, right? It will enter into the animal's body again when it is absorbed, and rest of the material, which is the waste material, which is in the form of feces, what will happen to them? Feces will excrete out of an animal's body, and in this way the nutrition process takes place in ruminants. So in today's session we discussed about the ingestion, digestion and absorption process which takes place in ruminants. You will be very amazed to know that in a cow the process of digestion takes 70 to 100 hours as compared to 2 to 24 hours in humans. This, however, permits them to obtain the most nutrients possible from these plant materials. But it is a fact. It actually takes place for 70 to 100 hours, the process of digestion in ruminants, right? And that is why it is very much different from us, the humans. So I hope you enjoyed this session learning about the nutrition in ruminants. So we will meet in the next session with the new lesson. Till then, keep learning, keep enjoying.